Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new video. Today is Bookmas Day 1 and my video is my December TBR. So if you don't know, I'm doing the 12 days of Bookmas again, which I did last year. So basically I do a video every other day in December leading up until Christmas. So it's mostly all of my end of the year content, some very festive reading vlogs and stuff. So we're kicking it off with December 1st with my December TBR. And let me tell you, I have quite the ambitious TBR this month. I just, send good vibes, okay? But I'm really excited about all of these books. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this month, I am actually going to be participating in a month-long readathon. So the whole month of December, it is called the Reindeer Readathon, and it is hosted, or it was created by Break Even Books. I'll leave their channel linked down below, as well as all of the information for it. But it's a Christmassy reindeer themed readathon, and the prompts are really cool. Basically, if you join, you just get assigned to a random team. I was assigned to Team Mistletoe, so I'm really excited, and I'm very hopeful that I can do all of these prompts. And there's some bonus prompts. You can only do one book per prompt. You can't double up, which I think is very fun. I think it's going to be a challenge, but I'm really excited because these prompts are really good. And then there is a bonus prompt for if you fulfill every single prompt, you get this bonus. And each prompt is worth a different a number of points. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly read off the prompts, and I'll talk about, when I talk about my TBR, what this could go for. But like I said, you can only use one book per prompt. You can't double up and use or do 2 prompts per book, you know what I mean? So each of the prompts is named after one of the reindeer. So we have Dasher, which is to finish a series. Dancer is a book with cursive or flowy font for the title on the book. Prancer is your favorite season or seasonal colors on the cover of the book. Vixen is a book you want to read, but you're scared is a bit overhyped. Comet is a book with an astronomical term on the cover, so sun, star, moon, sky, stuff like that. Cupid is favorite trope in the book, which my favorite trope is enemies to lovers, so I have a few that could fit for that. Donner is excited to read the book, but don't love the cover. Blitzen is to get a random number generator between 0 and 9, and whatever number that picks, finding a book that ends in that number. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to do that whenever. And then finally, Rudolph is to start a new series. And then there's 3 bonus prompts. One of them is to read an ebook. One is read an audiobook. I can't remember if there was another one. I think there was another one. And then the final one was to complete every single prompt. So now let's get into the books that I plan on reading. So I have them grouped into different categories. So the first category is going to be my rereads for this month. So my first reread is going to be Catwoman Soulstealer by Sarah J. Maas. I'm doing my Sarah J. Maas read-along with my friend Christina. So we're reading every single Sarah J. Maas book ever published. And this one I feel like people forget about all the time because it's not one of her more well-known series. It's not really a fantasy. It's, in my opinion, her least popular book. I feel like people always forget that she even wrote this. It's obviously a Catwoman retelling, so it's got that superhero / anti-hero kind of situation going on. And I could use this one for the prompt of reading my favorite trope, which is enemies to lovers, because it's a Catwoman Batwing romance, and they're enemies, rivals. It's not a series. It's a standalone book and a companion series about superheroes. So there's Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. I think those are the only other 3. And then Catwoman. But since we're reading all of Sarah J. Maas's books, we have to get to this one. I did read this back when it came out. I don't know that I've ever reread it though, but I do remember really enjoying it when I read it. So I'm curious to see how I'll feel about it. I'm sure that I'll like it because it's Sarah J. Maas, but superhero books are not really my thing, but we're going to read it for the read-along, so that'll be my first reread. And then I usually try to end the year on rereads so that when I'm coming out with my content, my favorite books of the year, I know that rereads aren't going to get added to that list, so I'll usually reread books at the very end of the year. And this is perfect because I want to reread a whole series. So that series is the Folk of the Air series, so the Cruel Prince books. I've got the 3 from the trilogy, and then I've got How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories, which is like just a little novella of stories about Cardan. This one I might not end up rereading. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm adding it to the list. There is a spin-off series coming out. The first book in that spin-off series is called The Stolen Heir, and that comes out right away in January 3rd, and it is following the main character, Jude's little brother. And so I want, since I'm going to be back in that world, I want this story to be fresh in my head. So I did want to reread it. I was going to buddy read it with a few of my friends, but I'm not sure if they're still going to do that or not, but I still plan on rereading these. So these ones could fulfill Dasher, which is finishing a series. So if I do actually get to these final books, Queen of Nothing is what I'm going to consider finishing the series. So hopefully I can get to that. And then I could also potentially use it for Blitzen, which is the number generator. So I would have to generate that number and then see if it fits. So that is a potential. It might not end up working out, but I'm going to add it. So those are the books that I plan on rereading in December. So now we're going to move into some holiday romances. So I'm in a very festive mood, and I'm definitely in a romance mood again. I'm like teetering between romance and fantasy, and like fantasy romance. So it's just kind of an all over the place kind of TBR. But I do have 3 Christmassy holiday themed romances that I really want to get to this month. And I will be reading all of these on my new Kindle that I was gifted for Christmas from my 2 best friends, Lachlan and Rachel. I'll leave their channels linked down below, as well as the vlog where I opened that present, because they totally surprised me and I got very emotional. It was quite the time. But yeah, I have a Kindle now, so I'm gonna read them on Kindle. I'm very excited about it. So the first book is A Very Merry Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. This is the 5th Bromance book club, I think is what the series is called. Romance, and obviously it's a holiday themed romance. I don't know much about this specific book. I just know that the series as a whole basically follows these men who read romance books in order to help them with the relationships in their lives, and I have enjoyed all 4 of the previous books, but they're just like fun little romances. So I definitely want to read this one in December because it is a holiday themed romance, and I think it'll be really cute. So this one I could use as the prompt for Prancer fave season on the cover. So my favorite season is fall, but this year I've been really, really excited for winter. So I say my favorite season is like autumn, but for some reason this year I was really excited for winter and less excited for autumn. So I could kind of like use this as, because it's very wintry, it's got like a Christmas tree on it. I could potentially use this one for that one. The next holiday romance that I want to read is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. Again, I know very little about this one other than it is a holiday themed romance, and I do really like Tessa Bailey's writing. I've read quite a few of her books, not a ton, not all of them, but a few, and I did really want to get to this one. I think it's just like I think it's shorter. It's less than 300 pages, and it's a holiday themed romance. Hopefully I end up liking it. Sometimes I just like feel kind of lukewarm about Tessa Bailey's books, but then sometimes I absolutely love them. So I'm hoping that this is one that I really enjoy. And then the third and final Christmas themed, holiday themed romance that I want to try to get to is There's Something About Mary. I can't remember the author's name. I'll pop up the picture on the screen, but I know it's free on Audible if you have a membership. So I already have the Audible like audiobook downloaded, and my friend Ami from Ami Reads said that this was a really cute holiday romance. Again, I know basically nothing about it. I'm sorry, I can't even tell you. It's just a holiday romance. I just figured I would try to get to it since it is free on Audible, and I'm kind of like, I want to do like a reading vlog where I just read holiday romances, so I wanted to add this one to it, and if Ami says it's good, I'm going to trust her recommendation, and I'm going to give it a shot. So those are the Christmas romances or holiday themed romances that I want to try to get to. Then I have a few just like wintry atmospheric or wintry vibe books that I want to get to. The first one that I'm so hyped for is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This has been getting a lot of buzz on TikTok lately. It's a figure skater hockey player romance, and I think they kind of butt heads at the beginning. And it just sounds so cute. I think it's going to give like a mix between From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata and the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I'm so excited to read this one. I might pick this up like right away because it just sounds so good. And I've seen like those edits on TikTok where it like shows you like a couple lines of dialogue, and it just looks so cute. I can't wait to get to it. The next book that has some wintry vibes that I want to try to get to in December is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So this is kind of a spin-off series of the Caraval series, which I did recently finish. So I do want to try to get to this one because when I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, it was very wintry, and I was like, oh, I read it in autumn and I was like, I kind of wish I would have saved it for winter. And this one I think is going to be the same, especially because of the map. It just looks wintry, like with the naked trees and stuff, and it's set in the magnificent north, and it just looks very wintry to me. So I don't know. I hope that it gives the same wintry, whimsical vibes that the first book had, and I do really, really want to get to this one this month. And then the last wintry themed book that I want to try to get to is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. So this will be coming out, I think, on December 7th or December 6th or something like that. But it is an Anastasia retelling, and I think it's like based off of the 20th Century Fox movie, like the cartoon movie Anastasia, which is one of my childhood favorite movies. I used to watch that all the time. It had the little music box with the little necklace. Oh my God, I love that movie so much. I think I'm going to be doing a movie night with some of my best friends, and we're going to watch that movie before we decide to read the book, and we'll be buddy reading it, I'm pretty sure. So I'm very excited for that, and you can just tell from the cover that it's like very wintry, so I'll be picking that one up when it comes out. I just realized I kind of gave up on talking about the prompts. I'm just gonna, you'll see it in vlogs and stuff where I'm just gonna kind of fit whatever books I can to fit the prompts. Then we have my like miscellaneous category where these books didn't really fit into any of the previous categories. So the first one, and like one of my top priorities for this month, is Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. This is the first book in the Daughter of No World series. I don't know if it has a series name, but I am really hyped for this one. Rachel from Rereads Reader, it was one of her favorites of the year, I think, and she said that she thinks I will really like it. And I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night last month, and I loved it. It was a 5-star book. It's going to make my favorites list of this year, and I'm so hyped for this series, and I believe it's done. I think it's just the trilogy and all 3 books are out already. So I really, really want to get to this one, and I can use it for the Rudolph prompt of starting a new series. Next up on my list is going to be A Twist of the Blade by S.M. Gaither. This is the second book in the Shadows and Crowns series. The first book being, oh my God, what is it? What is it called? The Shadow of the Marked? Oh God, what is it called? Why am I spacing? The Shadow of the Marked? Is that what it's called? Ugh, I can't even remember. Anyways, I read that earlier this year, and I picked this one up and just haven't gotten to it yet, and I do really want to continue the series, and since I have the physical copy of it, I do want to pick it up this month. I'm very curious to see where the story is going to go, especially after the ending of the first book. What is it called? Oh my God, that's going to bother me. I think that's right, but it just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Anyways, I do want to try to get to this one and continue this series. I think the 5th book comes out sometime next year, and that's the final book. So I do want to continue this so that when that book does come out, I can read it right away. I also want to try to get to Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This one could go for the comet prompt, which is an astronomical word. So it has sky in it. And this is the first book in the Calloway Sisters series. So I picked up Addicted to You, which is the first book in the Addicted series. And they're like a companion series following these sisters, these very like rich, famous sisters. And I did not like Addicted to You. I DNF'd it, and I don't plan on reading like those first 3 books, which some people say you have to read those first 3 books before going into the Calloway Sisters series. And then some people say that you don't have to. So I think if I have to read those books, then I just won't read any of them. So I'm just gonna try and pick up Kiss the Sky and hopefully I like it. And then I can get to Hot House Flower, which is a book that I would use for Vixen want to read, but I'm scared it's overhyped. Same with Kiss the Sky. I'm scared that these are a little overhyped. But Rachel, again from Ravenhead Reader, says that she thinks I will love Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower. She thinks that they'll be like new favorite romances. So I want to give them a shot. But if my enjoyment is less because I haven't read the Addicted books, so be it. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I want to try to get to them. We'll see if I actually do. They do fit a couple of the prompts, so I'm going to try to get to them, but who even knows? So yeah, those are all of the books that I want to try to get to in December. Again, like I said, it's very ambitious, but I want to try. I feel like I can get to all of the prompts for the Reindeer Readathon, but if I can't, I'll try to get as many as I can. And I'm just going to try to fit like the books that I'm reading or wanting to read to fit some of those prompts. Hopefully it works. We'll see. But again, I'll leave all of that information for that readathon linked down below, as well as all of the people that I mentioned in this video. If you made it to the end, please leave the Christmas tree emoji because I love my Christmas tree and it's December now and it just, I'm just ready for all of the festive vibes. So leave that emoji down in the comments down below and let me know what you plan on picking up this December or what you're what book you're most excited to read. And don't forget to click like and subscribe while you're down there to help support me and my channel. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next video for Bookmas Day 2. Bye!